Just me and you. We're live now.
Yes. I love the lyrics to the song.
Yeah. Yeah, we only can play like a tidbit because then they cancel us out because of our
That's
copyright.
crazy.
I
That's
know. It's like, don't they see we're advertising for them?
I
Like,
know. I know.
so how
Crazy.
are you, Debbie? How was your weekend?
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was good.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
very on
So
purpose.
yes. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We another, another day, another Monday, another
Yep.
week. Geez, man, we're already in our second week in August. So, hopefully you guys have, set your intentions for the week. You guys are really excited about what's to come. There's so much opportunity out there. A lot of times people are fearful of, maybe things not happening the way they want them to, or
Mhm.
why isn't this working anymore? Well, then it's time to sit, change things up and do something different. That's the beauty of our business, is everything is constantly changing. There's
Yeah.
nothing that's repetitive. And actually, that's personally what I love most about it. It's challenge, and it's, learning something new. So you're constantly learning. And like I said, that's something that I truly enjoy doing, is learning. So, but yeah, thank you, like I said, again, for watching. Here we try to provide some insight of, maybe hopefully you're not in a rut, but if you are, how can you get out of it? You're not alone.
Right.
Everybody goes through it here and there, so it's important to, you know surround yourself with the right people who, are going to lift you. We all have good weeks, we all have bad weeks. It's just the name of the game.
Right.
But it's how you, move forward and how you come out on top. Is basically what it is. So,
Right.
thank you so much, Gabby, again for for joining us this morning, and just tell us a little bit about how things been going for you in real estate. Like, just give us a little bit of insight.
I'm, man, it sounds corny and it sounds all those things that when people come on and say, oh, I'm so excited. But I really am. It's all about what you said right now. I'm so excited. I believe in, what we're doing. Remax Champions is, I got to give it out to our marketing team, Remax Champions. I'm so excited. They make it so easy to work with them. I get so much feedback. And I look forward to seeing, Justin, EJ, and Morgan now that joins us. We have an awesome team. So because of them, I'm really, really excited about what we have going on. And then because of the support that we get at your office, I'm excited about what we have, in the works right now with you. I can't wait. And so things are going really, really well. Being consistent in what we're doing. I'm starting to see more and more response. So very
Yeah.
excited.
And that's the one thing it's everybody's different, and that's something I completely understand. Everybody's lifestyles are different, everybody's goals are different, everybody's, have different everyone has different ways of doing things.
Mhm.
So at the end of the day, that's why a lot of times, when we're in real estate, I notice a lot of people want to compete against one another, and it's not about competing against one another. It's about, you doing the best for you and your family, you showing up for you and your family. And that's one thing that I try to teach here, with the agents that are around me. Don't look at, well, how come you're doing this, or how come, you're able this. It's like, maybe I have more time, maybe I'm willing to sacrifice more, or maybe my kids are this or that or whatever. Everyone has, like I said, different things going on in their lives.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's thank you, Carrie. um, at the end of the day, I think it just, you need to show up for you, and you need to be honest with yourself. And I think that's something that a lot of times we have a hard time doing. We tend to make excuses, or say, well, we can't do this because of this, or she's there because of this, and it doesn't matter. It's just focus on you. Where are you at? What do you need to get to where you need to be? You'll get there faster,
Yeah,
but
you know, it's interesting because I was talking with somebody recently and I was sharing with them, if you're gonna come call me, I just want to give you a warning, and the same thing, sometimes when I get in that like space that you're talking about,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna seek somebody out, I really think about who am I gonna call right now? Because what I was telling this person is, when you come to me and you share, it's the easier thing for a friend, right? A friend, your mom, your sister, your spouse, whatever, to do is say, well, don't worry. I mean, don't worry. You have every reason to feel down. Don't worry. It's not your fault. Don't worry. Just do what you could do. Don't worry about it. Like, you're a single mother, you're a single father, or don't worry about it. Your situation, you know what I mean? Like, just to kind of like loose off the pressure. And I don't want to call it pressure, but just, instead of, I don't want that. If I call Sonia, I don't want to be let off the hook per se. You know what I mean? I want to be reminded, Gab. No. Well, so what I was sharing with this person was, if you're in a slump right now, if you feel like things are not, if you're frustrated and you keep on saying, oh, why do things keep falling out of place for me? Why does everything keep falling apart? Why aren't things working out? What's wrong with me? Something's got to be wrong. I stopped them and I told you you need to stop. You're asking the wrong questions. You're creating havoc in your universe. You need to stop those. You got to start asking, hey, that's the reason why I like to use my day planner, because when you're in a down spot, I like to get my pages out. I like to say, shoot, what was that month that like I was so excited? What was that month that everything was working out? And I like to look back at my pages and say, man, because you can see your attitude, the way you wrote things. Did you highlight more? Did you put more emojis? And what about appointments? And I say to myself, see, that's why I was not in a slump during that time. It's not my circumstances. It was Gabby. I stopped doing what was working. I stopped being pumped up. I stopped listening to my audio. So I was telling this person, I love you. I love you. And that's why I'm telling you, look back at a time, look back to the last 12 months. When were things rocking for you? When were things the opposite of what they were right now? Look back at your calendar and see why things are different now. And right away they say, you're right. Of course, because it's not our circumstances that changed. It's our vibration, our attitude, our activity, our excitement. You know what I mean? So I like to use this for that reason. And be careful who you talk to. Be careful. If your best friend lets you off the hook, don't call that person. Call the person that's going to lovingly tell you, come on, you're better than this. You're better. You're better than what you're doing right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. I think it's super, like I said, super important for us to realize, like I said, it's impossible to have perfect days every day. It's just,
Right.
it's just impossible. So I think the sooner that the agents realize how to deal with that and how to know, what's their go-to, like you said, your go-to is to your planner to take a look and just, to remind yourself of the things that you were grateful for, the great times. I think that's awesome, that you have that. And I think everybody, like I said, should have their go-to, so that way they realize, hey, you know what, I'm going to get over this too. This too shall pass. And have someone you can count on, that to call that'll understand, someone who's maybe been through those challenges in real estate, or, and whatever it is that you're dealing with, always go to someone who's been there. I mean, for me, that's super important. A lot of times people want to give advice, but they've never been in that situation. So they truly don't understand what it's like. So, when it comes from someone who's been through those trenches or goes through that and knows what it feels like, but right now they're actually in a good spot, then it's good, for them to, push you and motivate you to tell you, hey, you know what, I've been there. This is what I did. Or, you know what, why don't you, like, for me, I like to just step away for a minute. I mean, I can be honest with you, I don't really have a lot of bad days, because and it's not that they're not bad.
Right.
Believe me, there's rejection,
Mm-hmm.
there's, things didn't go the way I wanted them to. There's all those days, there is. But I think I move on from it so fast that it's like,
Yes.
okay, you know what? It's not about me. Let me go and move and work with someone who wants to work with me. Or let
Right.
me go and do this, over here, because this is where I
Yes.
feel the most,
Yes.
someone else needs me.
Right.
So I can't get hung up in, oh my gosh, this happened,
Yeah.
learn from it.
You become that person. You are that person for yourself. You're able, in other words, you've gotten to a point in your mental toughness that you don't really, of course you do when it's major, 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 out of your there's things that are going to come that are going to stretch us beyond every 2 or 3 or 5 years, for sure we're going to get stretched. But if it's one of the things that you're talking about, you've gotten mentally tough enough that you don't have to call somebody. You don't have to, because now you're that person. You say to yourself, Sonia, you know what I mean? Whatever you say to yourself, it's a bad day, but Sonia gets Sonia in check.
Yeah. Like I said, I feel that, it's important, for us to try to become that person for ourselves, because, no one cares about us more than we care about it. We should care about ourselves.
Right.
And so I think that that's something that, we all need to work on. We've all, like I said, our backgrounds are different. We've all had different things that we've been through. So, and it does come a lot with how you were raised too, because I do believe that, I do believe that a lot of things, how I was brought up and things I had to deal with growing up has put me to where I'm at too. Had I been babied, or had I been spoiled, or then maybe I would be throwing fits because why isn't it going my way? But I'm not that person. So it's just completely different.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the market is actually, it's definitely some good times right now, and it's listening to consumers and, what their needs and wants are. Some of them are realistic with what's going on, and others, are just kind of not. And it's okay. Like I said, it's just all about having those conversations with them and determining if it's the right, if it's the right, if it's the right client if it's the right fit for you,
Yeah.
to work with this person. So
Yeah.
it's just, that's just kind of what I'm seeing anyhow, based on that. So as far as how have you seen any like real struggles or anything right now, Gabby, with what you're doing?
I think for me, honestly, it's so crazy. The biggest thing right now for me that I'm working with about 7 buyers right now, and the biggest thing for me is really selling them the dream. They get pre-approved, they have their pre-approval, they're ready to go. I have one buyer that wanted to give up after doing the work of getting pre-approved and everything. They're in a really difficult situation and wanted to give up after the first showing. They only saw one property, one. And they're, right away, maybe this is a sign, maybe we shouldn't do this, maybe, blah, 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 blah. And really just having to pour belief into people right now,
Yeah.
really having to get people and just tell, if they really can, I'm not going to lie to anybody. I'm not going to lie to them and tell them, just to keep them in the game. No, but if it's in black and white and they really can do it, it's just really constantly just showing it to them until they get there.
And I think that's what a lot of people do need. I do see that as well, that they do need, like, and it's just like we're saying, your mental toughness, or, just the way what you're used to. A lot of people do need their handheld, or they do need the reassurance to know that everything is going to be okay.
Yeah.
And like I said, some people, have faith and others don't. It's just, again, going to be dependent upon the person. But again, that's why, we're here to definitely, reassure, and like I said, it's not even about over promising or anything like that. Like a lot of times I will put my neck on the line, to be honest. Like I will, I will say, you know what, I can do this. And it's more because I want to challenge myself. It's not I would never tell someone else, but like when agents call me and then they'll tell me, Sonia, this or that or whatever, I'm like, well, I would do this. No, but this and this and that. But it's because I know what I'm willing to do,
Right.
to make it happen. Not everybody, maybe
Right.
is built that way. You know what I'm saying? They're a little bit more cautious.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, no, I'm going to give it my all. And I've even said to myself, you know what? If I screw up, I'm willing to work for free. If that's what my consequence is, because I didn't do something I was supposed to do the right way, and I put this person, if they're going to lose their $10,000, well, guess what? I'm giving it to them because they took my advice. But of course, I work hard for it. I make sure it happens. And believe me, every time I do that, I grow.
Yeah.
It shows me what I'm capable of. So I think by doing that, it's like a gamble for me. I'm putting all this money on the line, but again, I'm betting against myself.
But you know what it is though, and this is what I share with the buyers. That's a really great point. But you know what it is there's a difference. It's interesting because you said gamble, and I always share that with the buyers. Yeah, it's a gamble, but see, when you're an entrepreneur and when you're a dream chaser and anything in life, adulting, it's all about taking calculated risk. A gamble, it's just a gamble. You're just throwing it. Anybody could do that. But what we do, what you're talking about right now as a realtor guiding our buyer, is we're guiding our buyer through a calculated risk. We ran comps. We know, you know what I mean? We know what that situation is. We looked at everything and we kind of assessed the situation, and we're taking it's a risk because it might not go our way. It might not go the way of the buyer, but it's very calculated, and chances are it's more on the probably going to go our way. It's probably going to go our way, but we don't have a crystal ball. So what you're talking about is a calculated risk. And I kind of go back to the reason I share that as far as like talking to our buyers is because if a realtor right now wakes up and your belief level is not at a 10, if you are not, John Maxwell teaches the law of the lid. And if you're at a 5, you can't possibly get somebody that's a 6 or 7. You're only at a 5. And if you're only at a 5 when you wake up and your buyer is at a 5, how are you going to lift your buyer up? You're not going to get them to the finish line because your buyer's looking at you for vision. The buyer is demonstrating fear, and they're looking at you to cast the vision. They're looking at you to tell them, I think we can do it, and this is why. I really believe that we can get you there, and these are the reasons why. These are the facts. But if a realtor, you wake up and you're unsure of your hopes and dreams, and you're unsure, it's not going to work. It's not going to work to get your buyer to that level.
Right, exactly. So, like I said, just important to listen, more than we speak, listen to what the clients, are saying, what their fears are. Because again, remember, not everybody is built, for buying a home in these times.
Right.
People are just way too emotional. They take too many things personal, and it really isn't about them. So it's super important to definitely have those conversations and see what it is, that you're able to do for them. Because like I said, sometimes no matter how much you talk to them, it's just it does turn into more work and stress than it really needs to be. So there are other people out there that need your help. So kind of just,
I agree.
Yeah, put them in the not on the back burner, but put them out there, and just maybe send them drip campaigns. I always send homes. I put them in the MLS and let them receive houses, even if they're not ready, because I feel that it's important for them just to watch the market. Because especially for the people who tell me that they're waiting for the homes to go down, then let them look and see that they are not going down. Let them look and see that time and time, month after month, from what we're seeing so far, everything is still selling at list or above. And right now it's usually about anywhere from 3 to 7% higher than what it's listed for. So that's what the average is. So again, it's not for us to sit there and argue with anyone. It's just to provide facts and details, and then they can make the decision once they're ready. So
very true.
Thank you for that. And then what I'm going to do is This is thank you, Carrie. And then good morning to Brenda. She said good morning to us. Thank you guys again for watching.
Mhm.
So I do. We typically share with you guys a quote. And today we're going to make it a little bit shorter than normal, only because we have another class that we have at noon, so we have to be, ready for that. But I'm going to add the quote that Gabby chose. If you can tell us a little bit about why you chose this quote, Gabby.
This isn't a book that I'm currently reading right now. The New Psychology of Winning, phenomenal. If you haven't read it, I would recommend reading the first one, which is The Psychology of Winning, and then the next one, The New Psychology of Winning. This says you may not get what you want in life, but in the long run, you'll get what you expect. Expectations equals motivation. You never are motivated to do something you don't expect to be able to achieve. You won't try hard unless you believe that you'll achieve it. That goes with any kind of goal in life. And we're short for time, but I do have a lot of conversations with people about things, and that's one thing I always tell them. If you don't really believe in your heart that you can, if you haven't sold yourself, it goes back to that, if you haven't sold yourself on this is the goal that I have, and this is how I'm going to achieve it, and this is why, this is how I'm going to do it, this is my action plan, you're not going to go full throttle on it. You're just not going to do it. So
Makes sense. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And then now we'll go into your video that you chose.
which goes perfectly, I think, hand in hand. We'll see.
Okay.
So, diving into your world and how you perceive the sense of self and the way that you marry science to the way that we form memories, the way that we live in a perpetual state of reliving our past and things like that. It's really, really incredible. And I want to dive into the whole notion of you sort of being a habitual construct. Like, what is that? What is the habit of you?
Well, a habit is a redundant set of automatic, unconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that's acquired through repetition. A habit is when you've done something so many times that your body now knows how to do it better than your mind. So if you think about it, people wake up in the morning, they begin to think about their problems. Those problems are circuits of memories in the brain. Each one of those memories are connected to people and things at certain times and places. And if the brain is a record of the past, the moment they start their day, they're already thinking in the past. Each one of those memories has an emotion. Emotions are the end product of past experiences. So the moment they recall those memories of their problems, they all of a sudden feel unhappy, they feel sad, they feel pain. Now, how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. So the person's entire state of being when they start their day is in the past. So what does that mean? The familiar past will sooner or later be predictable future. So if you believe that your thoughts have something to do with your destiny, and you can't think greater than how you feel, or feelings have become the means of thinking, by very definition of emotions, you're thinking in the past. And for the most part, you're going to keep creating the same life. So then people grab their cell phone, they check their WhatsApp, they check their text, they check their emails, they check Facebook, they take a picture of their feet, they post it on Facebook, they tweet something, they do Instagram, they check the news, and now they feel really connected to everything that's known in their life. And then they go through a series of routine behaviors. They get out of bed on the same side, they go to the toilet, they get a cup of coffee, they take a shower, they get dressed, they drive to work the same way, they do the same things, they see the same people, they push the same emotional buttons, and that becomes the routine, and it becomes like a program. So now they've lost their free will to a program, and there's no unseen hand doing it to them. So when it comes time to change, the redundancy of that cycle becomes a subconscious program. So now 95% of who we are by the time we're 35 years old is a memorized set of behaviors, emotional reactions, unconscious habits, hardwired attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions that function like a computer program. So then a person can say with their 5% of their conscious mind, I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, I want to be free. But the body's on a whole different program. So then how do you begin to make those changes? Well, you have to get beyond the analytical mind, because what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. And that's where meditation comes in, because you can teach people through practice how to change their brainwaves, slow them down. And when they do that properly, they do enter the operating system where they can begin to make some really important changes. So most people then wait for crisis or trauma or disease or diagnosis. They wait for loss, some tragedy to make up their mind to change. And my message is, why wait? And you can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, or you can learn and change in a state of joy and inspiration. And I think right now, the cool thing is that people are waking up.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to share from that. The reason that I chose that, Sonia, the reason I chose that is because, as I mentioned with Remax Champions, the marketing team, the videos that I do and stuff, I get asked quite a bit. Like I get, comments like, man, I wish I could do that. I really want to do it. I don't know why I haven't called them. I haven't called. I haven't done video yet. I haven't done all that stuff. And like people kind of think like it's just overnight. Like, oh, I've never done it because I can't sound like that. And I wanted to share that because that's just your subconscious mind talking. If you could follow my journey on doing video, I'll say it very, very quickly. When I first started to do video, when I first started to do that, I cried for 3 days. Every video that I did, I got overwhelmed with anxiety. I could not manage it. I couldn't do it, and cried for 3 days. And my husband would see me and he would say, babe, why do you do that to yourself? Don't do it. Why do you do that? Like, why do you do that to yourself? You don't have to do video. And I told him, yes, I do. I'm not going to let this conquer me. I'm not going to die. I know that this is part of growing. This is a growing pain that I'm going through. It's no different than going to the gym. It's no different from getting fit. You're going to go through growing pains. It's going to hurt like crazy. Some people quit because it's too painful, and some people battle through it. And I would tell my husband, I'm going to get over it. I'm going to get over it. I know that I am. And eventually I did. The anxiety never leaves. The anxiety never leaves.
Absolutely. I mean, you can talk to any performer, that goes on stage. It doesn't, they are, they're scared, they're fearful, whether or not, they have a sold out stadium or what have you. But you're right. It never leaves. It's always there. Yeah.
We just get better at programming our mind to get over it faster. We get better at we rewire the brain, and we don't let it stop us. And eventually our subconscious and conscious come together, and we know we can do it. And that's my hope and prayer. That's why I shared that quote, and that's why I shared the video, because I want people to, I'll tell you this, it feels phenomenal to conquer that. It feels phenomenal for me personally that I don't cry over videos anymore. It feels incredible. It wasn't easy. It was a hard journey. 3 days of crying and humiliated, embarrassed, humiliated, ridiculous things in my head. But it feels incredible to have grown like that. And I hope and pray that for our fellow teammates.
Yes.
Call Remax Champions Marketing. Call them.
Yes, you guys need to call. Get on with it.
Yes, on it. Just do it. A 10-second video. Challenge yourself. 7 seconds. Do it.
Yeah. So who do you challenge, Gabby? Who do you challenge? Who are you challenging?
I challenge Miss Katie. I challenge Katie out of our office, and I challenge Miss Letty Luna. Get it 7 minutes.
Yeah. It's
7 minutes.
Yeah. Or like you said, even 45 seconds. 45 seconds. They can get a lot done in 45 seconds. So absolutely, it's not easy. It's not uncomfortable. We're our worst critics.
Yes.
We look at ourselves and we're like, so yeah, definitely.
If it doesn't bring you to tears, you guys, you're better than I am.
Yeah. No, I just think we all, like you said, we all handle things differently.
Right.
So it's just based on that. But hi, Josie. That's Josie. Hi, Josie. Good morning.
I can't see who it is.
But so anyways, well, thank you so much, Gabby. And I'm going to make sure that Katie and Letty get out there by the end of this month. I already told them they have to the end of this month to get it going, get it together. They have nothing to lose,
That's
and
right.
and we'll go from there. So again, thank you so much. We
Thank
wish you
you.
guys a phenomenal week. Like she says, it's all up to us. Get up every day and make it happen. And if you guys need anything, have any questions, you can always reach out to us. We're here working, and just we're doing what you're doing. We're trying to figure it out and move forward the best that we can. That's all you can do. There's no secret answers. There's nothing. It's just work. That's all it is.
That's right.
So, all right. Well, again, have a great weekend or week, actually.
Week.
I'm already on Friday.
I
Have
know.
a good week, everyone. We'll see you guys soon. Ain't no stopping us now.
Ain't no stopping us, ladies and gentlemen.
Build us down.